Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Pete and Holly's Travels. Today we have come to the St Ives Food Festival. Come down every year, weather looks good, lots of activities going on, demonstrations and all that sort of stuff, music and all your normal drinks and food going on. They haven't got the evening music, late evening music this year, and therefore I don't think there's anything you've got to pay for unless you want specific demos, you know, like foraging and that sort of stuff. Those sort of things you've got to pay for. But anyway, let's go and have a look. This is the area where the music normally is, so there's no tent there, so I'm assuming that there is music still. We'll find out as we go through. Got a bit breezier today, as you can see from the sea through that stall there. Certainly not a good day to go skinny dipping. But if you could smell what's coming off of some of these stalls, whoa, it smells delicious. If it tastes as good as it smells, then oh my word. Anne's pasty is absolutely gorgeous.
Fat that's in there. What I've done is I've put it onto sort of like a dry cure or a dry brine. So I rubbed a bit of salt on it, some coarse sea salt on there. You can do it for an hour, 2 days. It's up to you. It draws out the moisture from the meat, and then it changes, especially changes the proteins, the proteins of the tissue, so that it can handle the heat when it goes on, and it keeps the moisture in when you cook it.
Nice.
So
Which is
yeah.
perfect on the fire like this,
Yeah,
isn't it?
perfect.
Right.
You can imagine the salt molecule sort of like gets wet, draws in the moisture, relaxes, spreads around, gets back into the meat, seasons the meat, and makes it more tender when you cook it. Anyone can do that. It's really simple. Just do it a day before and leave it open in a fridge so it dries out as well, rather than just like.
Very pretty. I saw your Instagram post of a place you were over here and I was like, oh, that looks
Yeah,
pretty
brilliant.
nice.
That was the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, all over. That's one of the things that I enjoy about it. One of the most is that I get to visit the places that I never even knew existed, even though I grew up in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Like, because there's so many nooks and crannies there. Just till you look up and go, oh, wow, this is amazing. So yeah.
It's a beautiful county.
Yeah. No, yeah, I really enjoy it. Really enjoy it.
Great.
So I'll just go back to what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in a way that I prepare it before events, so that it's kind of something that show you what I do, and then also something you could quite easily do at home. The idea of this is just keeping it really, really simple. Letting the onion do the talking, let the onion work. So I'm going to caramelise it in a pan with just a touch of rapeseed oil. I'm going to get this pan nice and hot. And just cook the onion. You know how you make onions for hot dogs when they get nice and brown and caramelised? Well, I'm going to do that and let it catch on the bottom of the pan. Deglaze it with some water, which brings the flavour from the onion, the caramelisation on the pan, back into the onion.
That's actually good things. You want to continue the moisture comes out of the onion, almost deglazes as it goes, and it has, the flavour just increases over time.
Absolutely.
Deglaze it with a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of balsamic, a little bit of anything, and just keep that flavour trickling through the onions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add the vinegar and balsamic towards the end, so that it's not too sharp when we finish it. But that principle of deglazing and caramelising.
And would you starting this off with some butter, some oil,
So
or you
just
have
a little.
so English? There's lots of great ways to get this. I think it's something chefs in this country were trying to use.
And we jump about and help each other out, and think just a really, it's just the community spirit from St Ives. I mean, like the village as well. We've got going on. We've obviously got our oysters and champagne in there, but you've also got Harbour View, a new project by the hub called Mazza, I think it is
Mazza. Yeah.
Mazza. So the St Ives village is that like everyone gets involved. Everyone does what they need to do to help each other out. It's not a one restaurant town.
That sense of camaraderie. I was asked earlier, I was being interviewed earlier, and I was asked what I felt was the thing that really marks out the Cornish food scene, and we can definitely talk about like the building blocks of incredible produce.
Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. 1 minute I held the key next to the walls that were closed on me. I discovered that my castle stands upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand.
Do you walk on the edge of this crazy little thing called love? Careful, you might wish. Careful of the big fish underneath the reef. They keep on dragging you deep. Oh no. Without the fall, you cannot drown. And you feel you've had enough. You're gonna fall sometime, but you'll always get back up. You're gonna fall sometime. Fancy joining me on this bit? Yeah? It's real simple, there's no lyrics, it just goes like this. Thank you so much, St Ives Food Festival. It's been a pleasure. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. You've been listening to The Wave Machine. machine. Catch you guys later. Cheers!
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little look around the St Ives Food Festival, the only food festival on a beach. Great setting, great location, and it's a great festival. Shame the sun isn't shining a little bit more, but you can't have everything, can you? Some fantastic music and loads more to come. Food cooking demos, absolutely fantastic. I love sitting there watching them. You learn so much, and it's so good to have a little taster at the end of it. Anyway, if you've liked the video, do give us a like, and it'd be fantastic if you could give us a subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.